Hello, welcome to the kitchen. All right, today we are making good old mince and potatoes. So I have some garlic in the pan, about 3 cloves of garlic from the garden last year that I cut up and chopped up. And I put a little olive oil, a little butter, and a little salt in the pan. And yeah, that's gonna do us a good solid base. We'll chop up a little more garlic here. These are just absolutely beautiful cloves that we grew last year. And garlic is so easy to grow. I have a video you can watch, I'll tag at the end here, of how easy it is to plant and grow garlic. I think there's actually a whole playlist. So we'll go ahead and chop that up. And we're going to put it in the pan. I don't have the ability to keep moving my camera back and forth, so I'll just show you as we go. So I'm going to clean off our board, and right now we're just sweating down the garlic and the onions in a pan. We're going to add some celery to that and some carrots as well. So there's a list below of the ingredients that are in here, but I'll kind of list them off as we go. So right now we have a little butter, olive oil, salt and pepper in the pan, some garlic that we just cut up into chunks. You don't want to cut the garlic too small because it will burn on you. And I'm just sauteing that on a medium heat. So I'm just going to go ahead and chop up the onions. Try to keep them as uniform in shape and size as you can. Don't cut the root off of the onion right away, because that is going to hold it all together for you as you cut it. So what you'll see me do is cut it, it's cut in half already, so you always want to have a flat surface to cut on. Then I'm going to cut down the onion, I'm going to cut through it, and then I'm going to cut along it so that it is all little cubes for me. And don't forget to keep your fingers and your thumbs tucked. You don't want to lose them. So we're going to go ahead and put those in the pan. I'm going to add some Cavenders Greek seasoning because I really like that. I use it a lot. So that's in the pan with the olive oil and the butter and the seasonings and the garlic. Just going to add some more onion, and you'll see me do that here. Okay, so go ahead and get it in the pan, stir it all up, and you're going to sweat this down now. I'm just going to add a little bit of salt and some pepper. And you're going to cook this on a medium-low heat, about 5 to 10 minutes, and you're just going to wait until those onions are translucent. And while we do that, we're going to go ahead and prepare the rest of our vegetables. So we're going to cut up some celery, and yeah, there you go. Celery, carrots, get those in with the onions, and you got your 3 basic ingredients there. Now, of course, when you're cutting up your vegetables, you can't forget to pay the security guards that watch your back. So they get paid in carrots. So I'm just going to go ahead and clean up some mushrooms here, and I'm using a couple of different varieties of mushrooms, white button mushrooms and cremini mushrooms. And they do a little bit of dirt on them, so I'm just going to clean them off with a paper towel so I don't have to get them wet and add any extra moisture to them. So that's always good. And I'm go ahead and cut those up and get those in the pan too. So some of the herbs I used was rosemary that I had dried out of the garden from last year, and some thyme that I had in a jar, as well as my Cavenders Greek seasoning. So those are some of the basics. So I'm just going to go ahead and take all those vegetables we sweated down, put them in a bowl over to the side, and cook my ground beef down. So you just want to go ahead and put that off to the side. We're going to add it back in later. So put the ground beef in a pan on the stove at quite a high heat. You do want to brown it down. So while that is happening, you have a good opportunity here to get your Bovril or OXO ready. So you want to put the powder in a measuring cup, a cup that can hold the heat. So a coffee mug would work for this as well. And that takes 3/4 of a cup of boiling water, and you can just mix that together and go ahead and set that aside. We're going to add that once we remove the grease from the ground beef. So here we are. Okay, the ground beef is all ready. The grease has been taken out of it and put aside. I didn't think you'd need to watch that. So we're going to go ahead and add back all of those yummy, yummy vegetables. Mix it all in together. And we're going to put that all back on the pan and cook that down. So what we want to do is add our OXO. So we have our moisture added back. Some people do add quite a bit more moisture than that, and I will sometimes, but don't forget your bay leaves, of course. Gotta add your bay leaves. I find that as long as everything is fairly well covered and there's enough to just cook everything down, then you're all good. So we're going to add HP sauce. You can't make mince without HP, I don't think. A little more Cavenders Greek seasoning. Now that is a high salt product, so I don't tend to add a lot of salt to this meal separately. I do add a little bit, but I do take into account that I'm using the Cavenders and it is quite salty. So if you are going to use it, you might want to consider that. So shuckle it all about, and then we're going to go ahead, put that back on the heat. We're going to cook that on high just to get it going, and then turn it down to simmer. You're going to cover it, stirring it occasionally for 45 minutes. Stir it every once in a while just to make sure that it's not sticking on the bottom. And go ahead and get your potatoes ready. A few pinches of salt in the water. And we're just going to boil these on high until they're done. Should take probably about 15 minutes, 15-20 minutes. And you can make those 15 to 20 minutes before you're ready to eat. And while you're waiting for your mince, you can go ahead and tidy up, get everything nice and clean and ready to go for serving dinner. So get some nice dishes out, and you can put your potatoes down and that beautiful mince on top. Enjoy your meal. And if you do decide to make this meal, please let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you soon.